Hey, good morning. This is encouragement and motivation from my heart. I know yesterday I didn't get to post. We were driving the majority of the day. So I did not want to do a late one because I knew I was going to be doing one this morning. However, I hope you were able to get to a place to where you could get some sound teaching or some encouragement and motivation yesterday. Today and kind of yesterday as well, what God has kind of laid on my heart is how to stay encouraged and motivated when those who are closest to you are down and out and feeling like they have given up. And how can you encourage them and help them stay motivated as well? And the story that comes to my mind that I'm going to kind of lay a foundation on is Paul. Paul, biblically, when you look back, Paul, who formerly was known as Saul, he used to persecute Christians. He hated Christians, and he didn't want anything to do with them. Well, when he was on the road to Damascus, God caused Saul to become blind, and Saul eventually was renamed Paul, and Paul ended up becoming to believe in Jesus Christ and ended up becoming an evangelist and started going out and telling people about Jesus Christ. And through that, because of that, he was thrown in prison and he was in chains. And oftentimes you really find out who your true friends are when you're going through the struggle, when you're going through hard times. And during that time frame, Paul references one of his friends that kind of brought him refreshment, kind of encouraged him and helped him go on. So I'm going to read to you out of 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 16. And this is out of the HCSB Bible, but it pretty much is the same across the board. It says in verse 16, "May the Lord grant mercy to the household of one Cephas," and I could have said that wrong, Oniphas, "because he often refreshed me and was not ashamed of my chains. On the contrary," this is going in verse 17, "on the contrary, when he was in Rome, he diligently searched for me and found me. May the Lord grant that he obtained mercy from him on that day. You know very well how much he ministered at Ephesus." So Paul was just saying in this verse how much he was refreshed and how happy he was that his friend searched him out. His friend came to encourage him and didn't look at the fact that he was in chains. Paul was somebody who went around and preached the gospel, and sometimes we can look at somebody who is always so happy-go-lucky, that when they become in a struggle and they become down and out, we can look upon them with judgment. And Paul was saying in this verse he was happy that his friend did not. It even said before then, "You know that all those in the province of Asia have deserted me, including Phygelus and Hermogenes." So 2 of his other friends had deserted him. So sometimes we think that if we just leave our friends alone, that they are better off, or we don't want to get in their business because it's none of our business. When really we need to be able to tell them the hardcore truth. And sometimes if we don't feel like we can say that verbally, which I'm one who has a hard time unless I'm really, really close with somebody, to say verbally, "Look, you need to get up, you need to stop complaining, you need to stop looking at this, you need to get up and do something." Sometimes I have a hard time doing that. So you can do other things. And one is do simple, small things to let them know that they are valued, that they are needed, and that you are there to be their friend no matter what. Sometimes we think that our story and what we're doing in life is not of any value, and that's when we begin to lose hope. So that's one thing that you can do. The next thing that you can do is we have to know when to say the hard truth. I have a couple of friends that they will tell me straight up honest truth if and when I need to hear it, which we always need to hear it. They will tell me to get up. They will tell me to stop sulking. They will tell me that I have a job to do and that I need to, get moving. They will get me out of my funk, as you would call it. So sometimes we have to do that, because if it's left to our own self to try and motivate and encourage ourselves to get up when we're in that time frame, we'll talk ourselves out of it. So really that's the main thing that I wanted to say. And I also wanted to bring you back to Habakkuk real quick in chapter 1. Habakkuk was saying to God, why do you make me see iniquity, injustice? Why is everything going on around me wrongdoing? Where are you when I needed you the most? Why aren't you here? And I encourage you to go through and read this book, because in the end, Habakkuk sees that God was with him the whole time. He never left him. And the same thing for you, and the same thing that you can encourage and talk to your friend about, is that God is right here in the midst. We can't see everything that's going on around us, but we can know and trust that God is right here and he's working everything out. And we may not know it until later on. I didn't know where I was going to be a year from now, this time last year. And now that I am here and where God has us, I can now see that he is working things out, and there's a better plan and there's a better work at hand. So today I leave you with 2 things. 1, if you have a friend that needs encouragement and motivation, don't leave them alone. Don't think they have it all together. The second thing is, if you don't feel like you can tell them the hardcore truth, message them. Let them know how much they're valued. Let them know how much you need them in your life. This is encouragement and motivation from my heart, and I pray that today may you find somebody who you see is going through a hard time and encourage them and show them how much they're worth. Have a great day.